Rutgers team. So what do you see on their defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, they've played really good teams. I mean, I think that's kind of what the film shows, is that they've played good teams. They have talent, and they have some speed as well. And I think, you know, they have overall they can be very confusing. And I think, that's going to be a good challenge for us, is that they'll show a variety of looks. And, I think that's that's a part of the week for preparation in terms of, what we need to focus on. And I think, how can we best be prepared for some of those looks, and because they're a good defense, they have a lot of a variety, and just like any defense in the Big Ten, competing and preparing is a challenge during the week.
What's it been like in terms of having Brendan in for that goal line package, kind of from your perspective? And have you ever been in kind of a situation like this?
Well, I've been in this situation before where they would, Michigan would use JJ to run a little bit, and I mean, it kind of, we've had some success with that, and I think he was able to run for a first down when it was short yardage. So whatever keeps the ball moving.
Okay, this past game, offense, defense, special teams finally seemed like it all clicked. Is that kind of what you guys have been striving for? Is that four-quarter game where everything seems to finally come together?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, kind of like that little lack of consistency is, at times it can be frustrating that, when you're as a competitor and as a team, when we're not playing to our full potential, that can be frustrating and it can lead to losses. And I think for us to, put in the great week of practice that we did last week, and for us to really just play a complete game on Saturday was just overall just a really big step for our team. And I think it just goes to show the effort that the guys are putting in during the week, that, we're still striving to get better even through wins and losses, adversity, success. And I think, and now we're going to a week where we won a game instead of lost a game. That shouldn't change at all. I think, I really think that the guys are approaching it that way.
Getting a win like that against a good team to Washington, talked about momentum a lot after, like you just said, after a loss or a win. How does that build momentum going into Michigan State?
I mean, it definitely builds momentum. I think, when losing games is tough on everyone because we work so hard. We work, endlessly from January on to make sure that we don't lose. And, when we do, it's difficult, but we have to learn from it and we have to get better. And I think, for us too, I think kind of like our theme this year is, whether it's been good or bad, has been we've just continued to respond. I think, even when there were times earlier in the season when maybe we weren't putting together complete games, both sides were still able to respond. And I think, as a team, we were able to respond last week, and now it's about responding again. Now it's about, maybe not dealing with adversity, but now it's dealing with some success. And I think, the more that we can just honestly just continue to get better, whether, besides the outcome is going to be, the key factor for our team.
You just talked about learning, and after a great win like you guys had last weekend, how do you guys kind of, what's the way to learn from when you win a game like that?
Well, whether we win or lose, we're still going to watch the film. We're still going to, pull bits and pieces of stuff that happened on Saturday, that we can work on. And I think, even throughout the week, basically once we're done watching the film of the game, I mean, it's over with. We're not thinking about that. I mean, we haven't thought about that, since Sunday, really. So from here on out, we've just been watching the film on ourselves and on Michigan State, and we're just trying to do everything we can. Now, what can we get better at this week? What can we get better at, this play or that play? Or maybe, like, I need to do something better with my footwork, or kind of whatever it is. I mean, that's just like a part of being, a competitor and an athlete, is you're just continuing to try and get better every single day.
Does it still feel like a rivalry game for you?
I mean, at this point, I mean, not a ton. I mean, I think, like, for me, at this point in my career, I just really enjoy playing, like, kind of every team in the Big Ten again. And I think, Michigan State, I mean, I have played at Michigan State, and, that was a crazy game. But I think, that was a couple years ago at this point. So I think I'm just really, just kind of excited to just go on the road again. I mean, that's like, what you look forward to is hostile environments. And, Michigan State has a good, good stadium, good culture and everything. So, we're looking forward to it.
Where are you at from a physical standpoint? Do you feel like you're getting more mobile as you get healthier from your farther away from your surgery?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point I'm well 100%. I've never, this is as best as I felt, especially like where we're at in the season right now. I think, really after camp and the first couple games was when I was really able to settle in physically, and really ever since then I've been completely fine.
Cade, kind of a two-part question, but just how would you describe Tim as a play caller? And I've been very kind of impressed with the different creative ways he gets, Caleb the football and just kind of the different route schemes. How would you describe his creativity from an offensive coordinator standpoint, just his style of play calling?
Yeah, I think, Coach Lester's done a really good job of coming in here and establishing new standards for our offense. And I think as far as schematics, as far as attitude and effort, I think, Coach Lester has had a huge impact on our program. And I think, I just really think that really just his experience through all the different programs that he's been in, the different coaching jobs that he's had, has really helped him prepare for the opportunity that he has here at Iowa. And I think it's pretty cool when we're able to, watch film on like 10 years ago, or like when he was at Purdue, or when he was at Michigan, Western Michigan, and also, even watching film of the Green Bay Packers. I think it's cool when you're able to, put yourself in that scenario, and it's also cool just having a coach that has familiarity with those things.
He pulls out the film. How often does he pull out the film from, 10 years ago, and even obviously the Packers and everything?
A lot of the times, I think that's a part of, getting the buy-in from the players, and I think that's also where he's able to prove, that, if he's seen a specific look or he's seen a specific defense in the past, and he'll go back and look at, how, what worked and what didn't work. And I think when he's able to do that and show, and really use his experience for the better and help us as a, specifically in the quarterback room, it's huge, because then we're able to see what the look like, what it looks like, how what we're doing on offense affects the defense. And really, it's just a really great learning tool for us to be able to apply it to practice.
All that talk about the motion and the creativity, I don't know how many times before this year you were doing 360s while you were handing off. And just, there's a lot of footwork and motion that you've got to go through. What has been like as you're getting healthy and getting your feet under you, literally and figuratively, just learning how to hand off a little differently sometimes?
I think that's kind of the fun part when you're able to. I'm pretty much the vet, So at this point, when I'm able to learn something new or do something that I haven't done before, especially when it's something as simple as handing the ball off and doing it a completely different way, that's fun to me. That's part of the game that a lot of us enjoy, and just to continue to learn new things, get better at things. And I love that play. That was a sweet play. I've never done something I've done stuff similar, but I've never done the full rotation. So that was a cool play. And there's just like some, whether it's different movements or stuff, I think it's also a bit of a challenge, as a quarterback, is how can I move as efficiently as possible in a new movement. And I think, that's a bit of the, from a competitive side, that's the challenge and the fun part as well.
How many reps does it take to at least learn how to spin and hand off at the same time? Because it's, like trying to walk and chew gum, I suppose, maybe.
Yeah, for me, it was, it came to me pretty quick. I think I was able to, just because of, some of the movements that I've done in my past that I was familiar with, maybe the ball handling, but I take a lot of pride in my ball handling and my ability to, how fast can I get it to the running back in the backfield. And I think, that's a key part of, playing quarterback too, is, how can we make it the same picture for the running backs every single time. And, just the more detail that we're able to have, the better position that it puts the running backs in, based on, especially when our O-line's doing that good of a job of blocking.
How cathartic is it for you for that second play in the fourth quarter? You hit Dayton for 33-yard touchdown pass. You're feeling as good as you have health-wise. How cathartic is a play like that for you right now?
It's just, at this point, I'm just doing what I can to help the team win, and for us to be. I mentioned earlier that that's a play that we've worked on a lot, and for us to finally, find it in the game, find the opportunity when to run it, and for us to, hit it and make it look, pretty easy. I think that was, that's huge for us, and I think, the more reps and the more, games that, we continue to play, that, those plays are going to show because of how much work that we've put in, and that all goes to shows to the amount of effort and really work that the guys have put in throughout the season and during practice.
Sorry we missed.
Okay, thanks, guys.